Welcome friends to this review of Money in the Bank 2023, which this year takes place in London. We dive straight into the heart of the matter with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. An excellent match, full of pace and spectacular moments, like Butch's Asai moonsault from the top of a ladder onto the rest of the participants, or Ricochet's Spanish fly on Logan Paul through two tables, a move that could have been dangerous as it seemed both men landed awkwardly. Logan Paul even ended up with a bloody back. In the end, Damian Priest and LA Knight are at the top of the ladder, fighting it out. Priest delivers a broken arrow on Knight from the top of the ladder, then climbs back up and retrieves the briefcase, becoming Mr. Money in the Bank, or rather Senior Money in the Bank. Next up is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez vs. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. It's a good match lasting almost 10 minutes. Liv is in good shape, but Baszler and Rousey frequently target her shoulder to gain the advantage. Towards the end of the match, Ronda faces off against Liv Morgan, but out of nowhere, Shayna Baszler attacks her own partner. She applies a Kirifuda clutch on Rousey, then leaves the ring, leaving their opponents, the referee, and the audience in shock. Raquel doesn't miss this opportunity and delivers a Tejana bomb on Ronda, followed by Liv executing an Oblivion for the 3 count and the victory. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are the new champions. Now we move on to the Intercontinental Championship match, GUNTHER vs. Matt Riddle. It's a fierce battle between the two men, and as expected from recent events on Raw, GUNTHER targets Riddle's leg from start to finish. GUNTHER delivers a powerbomb and follows up with an ankle lock, but Riddle refuses to submit. Desperate, GUNTHER delivers a series of chops to Riddle's injured foot and applies his submission hold once again, and this time, Riddle has no choice but to tap out. GUNTHER retains his title. After the match, Drew McIntyre's theme hits. McIntyre makes his entrance, marking his return to WWE, and joins the ring. He confronts GUNTHER, but the ring general pushes him away. Drew responds with a Glasgow kiss and follows up with a Claymore kick. McIntyre celebrates, holding the Intercontinental title, concluding the segment. Now it's time for the match between Dominik Mysterio, accompanied by Rhea Ripley and Cody Rhodes. The match begins with Dominik showing a sneaky side, evading strikes and hitting Cody. Dominik escapes to the outside of the ring, but Cody catches up with him and brings him back in. Cody dominates with several moves, but Dominik regains control. He smashes Cody's skull against the commentator's table and follows up with some impressive maneuvers. Towards the end of the match, Rhea distracts Cody, allowing Dominik to attempt a 619, but Cody counters it. Cody delivers an Alabama slam on Dominik, followed by a Cody cutter and finally a crossroads for the 3 count and the win. To everyone's surprise and without any warning, John Cena's theme blares through the O2 Arena. The 16-time world champion makes his entrance and his return. Inside the ring, microphone in hand, Cena says, "Surprise." He jokingly expresses his surprise that the fans are singing along to his music instead of the usual "Cena sucks" chants. He expresses his love for the London fans and states that he is there on their behalf. He wishes to bring WrestleMania back to London and asks the fans to make their voices heard to show the executives how special it would be. Grayson Waller interrupts Cena and expresses his admiration for him, but claims that WrestleMania should take place in hotter locations like Australia. Waller mocks Cena's recent losses and offers to help him revive his career. Cena refuses and attempts to leave, but Waller attacks him. Cena reacts quickly and executes an attitude adjustment on Waller. It's time for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The match begins intensely with Trish Stratus attacking Becky Lynch during her entrance. Zoey Stark and Trish dominate Lynch while the other competitors battle it out. Ladders come into play quickly, and a chaotic battle ensues among the competitors. Towards the end of the match, Stark tries to handcuff Becky, but Becky manages to fend off Trish and Stark. However, she ends up with one wrist handcuffed. A violent confrontation unfolds between Becky and Trish on the commentary table, with Becky executing a manhandle slam on Trish onto the ladder. Sky quickly returns to the ring and knocks over a ladder to the outside. She climbs the other ladder, but Bayley overturns it. Bayley climbs the ladder and is stopped by Lynch, who uses the handcuffs as a weapon. Very cleverly, Sky returns and manages to handcuff Lynch and Bayley together from one end of the ladder to the other. Sky climbs over Bayley and reaches the top of the ladder to retrieve the briefcase. Now we move on to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth freakin' Rollins vs. Finn Balor. From the beginning, Balor tries to target Rollins' injured ribs, but Rollins manages to defend himself. The two exchange blows and kicks until Rollins hits a pedigree, but Balor kicks out at 2. Suddenly, Damian Priest arrives with his Money in the Bank briefcase, distracting Rollins. Balor tries to take advantage of the distraction with a roll-up, but Rollins escapes and follows up with a superkick. The champion leaves the ring to confront Priest, who remains seated. Balor seizes the opportunity to strike Rollins with a dropkick against the barricades and follows up with a coup de grace outside the ring. Balor then throws Rollins back into the ring and climbs the top rope for a coup de grace, but Priest gets up from his chair. Balor is distracted. He leaps for the coup de grace, but Rollins dodges and follows up with a stomp for the victory, retaining his title. After the match, as Rollins celebrates his victory, we see Balor and Priest arguing outside the ring. Now it's time for the main event, the Bloodline Civil War. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. Jimmy and Solo are the first two men to fight. Solo shows dominance and easily fends off Jimmy. We have a fairly long opening to the match, in the usual trash talk from Roman Reigns when he enters the scene. He and Solo Sikoa have the advantage for a good portion of this match. The crowd also got involved in the match by supporting the Usos and chanting against Roman Reigns. After several minutes of action, as is often the case in Roman Reigns matches, the referee gets hit and is knocked out. The Usos perform the 1D, and Jay goes for the pin, but the referee is obviously not there. Reigns' team manages to regain the advantage, and Solo and Reigns combine to simultaneously deliver a Samoan spike and a spear on Jay. They place Jimmy on top of Jay, and Reigns goes for the pin now that the referee has returned. 1, 2, no, the count stops at 2. Confused, Solo and Reigns continue to attack the Usos. Solo climbs onto the commentator's table and leaps for a splash, but Jimmy dodges, and Solo crashes. In the ring, Jay hits a superkick on Reigns, who responds with a Superman punch. Jay counters with another superkick, followed by an immediate spear from Reigns. Pin. Still 2, as Jay tries to free himself, he delivers a low blow to Reigns and tags in Jimmy. The Usos unleash superkicks on Reigns and then on Solo. Jay tags in again and splashes onto Reigns, getting the 3 count. For the first time in 3.5 years, Roman Reigns is defeated by pinfall. The Usos celebrate their achievement, tears in their eyes, thus concluding the premium live event. We were treated to a very high-quality Money in the Bank event. The ladder matches were excellent, as were the title defenses. We had the return of Drew McIntyre, but most importantly, the surprise appearance of John Cena. No one expected it. Special mention to the passionate crowd that cheered throughout the evening. And what can we say about the main event? It was simply magical. We had been waiting for this explosion within the Bloodline for a long time, and we were not disappointed. Roman Reigns suffering his first pinfall loss in 3.5 years, it took quite some time. Jay, the one who achieved this feat, now deserves his chance for the WWE Universal title. And a magnificent scene awaits us on the horizon for this match, SummerSlam. Thank you all for watching this video. Leave your feedback in the comments and let me know what you thought of this Money in the Bank 2023. Until the next WWE show, take care, my friends.